I just saw the parking attendant write out a ticket. It should have been done as soon as the car parked, not after the MMDA arrived and asked to see the ticket. Good morning everyone, MMDA back on the road. This is the same road they cleared yesterday. Here you'll see the Tandwai gate. They can't even get into their own compound because of this parked jeepney. And there were more here, but the drivers ran out, started the engines and sped away. At least over here on the bridge, it's clear, except for these big generators on the sidewalk. I guess they don't really have any other place to put them, and they do have to do this project. I think it's a rehabilitation. And although there's some Jeeps and private cars that are being ticketed further along, it's nowhere near as bad as yesterday. So I'm guessing some of the drivers already found paid parking nearby. This little RE tricycle was ticketed yesterday, still doesn't have a plate. And this vehicle was already ticketed, meaning the driver can now leave. And this one is also being ticketed. This was also ticketed yesterday. And again, there's a motorcycle parked on the sidewalk. So I just heard the enforcer ask for the license and then he'll issue the ticket. And you'll see another private vehicle here. I think the drivers learned to come out quickly to avoid being towed. This is a nice Audi, but it's parked on the sidewalk. There's no plate on the front, no conduction sticker. How about the back? Okay, there is a plate on the back, although it's not an approved type that follows LTO guidelines. Anyway, the enforcer's writing out a ticket now and it'll get towed away if there's no driver. And he's also ticketing this silver one for the same reason, obstructing the sidewalk. He said he ticketed both of these yesterday. The driver of this one came out, so they're asking for the license now. He showed his ticket from yesterday and they'll write another ticket today. And they're also asking for the ORCR because there's still no plate attached to the vehicle. It is meant to be registered, it is meant to have a plate. This gentleman just came running along the road to speak to Bong. I actually remember him from yesterday. Ticketed yesterday, ticketed again today. So I just walked backwards and now I can understand why that gentleman came to speak to Bong. Oops, he just tripped over the tow bar. Anyway, what I was about to say is his vehicle is being towed. He was ticketed yesterday and today he's being towed. If I remember correctly, all three of these vehicles were actually ticketed yesterday for illegal parking. Yesterday these obstructions were removed from the sidewalk, but they just put them back as soon as the team leave. So today they're actually going to be confiscated, put on the back of the SCOG truck. It's actually the same with that canteen over there. All their tables and chairs were removed from the sidewalk yesterday, but then they just put them straight back again. And there you go, the canteen is now clearing their obstructions. That's the unfortunate reality. Move it in when the team come, move it out when the team leave. One of the Western enforcers writing out a ticket to this truck on the sidewalk. And of course, if they don't show a license, it will get towed away. In yesterday's video, a lot of people noticed the mud and garbage in the road. I'm pleased to say the barangay or someone has cleared it, although it's still on the sidewalk. So a little bit of progress. And in comes a tow truck to take away this one. I think that might have been one of the Jeeps that got towed yesterday. And just around the corner, they're getting ready to pull this one up onto the flatbed. They didn't leave any space for pedestrians. The sidewalk's fully obstructed. And you'll see that one is already on the back of the flatbed, ready to be taken away. You see the MMDA street sweepers are also busy here, tidying up the area. You'll see this whole sidewalk is obstructed by tricycles, both the traditional type and the new RE tricycles. There are signs here about parking, but those signs don't really do much good, to be honest. You'll see a sticker on this one, Office of the President, but anyone can buy the stickers. You just go online on the popular shopping websites for any government agency or department, you buy the sticker. I can see the towing crew already starting to impound some tricycles because there's no drivers. They appear to be members of a TODA, so they are being used for public transport, but literally none of them have a license plate. Many of the tricycles don't have plates, so the tickets have to be written to the chassis number. I remember when the MMDA operated here last time, there were a lot of trucks parked here. They alleged that they're paying the barangay, but there's no trucks parked here today. SCOG team are taking away sidecars that have been abandoned on the sidewalk, just occupying space. And up go the tricycles. Some drivers did actually come out, I saw them, but they said they don't have a license. Operating as public transport, but allegedly no license. I remember before when the MMDA used to round up so many unlicensed tricycles in Manila City, they would ask if they could let MTPB impound them instead of MMDA, because allegedly it was only 500 pesos to get the tricycle released, no matter how many violations you had. Whereas with MMDA, the penalty is higher and they have to pay the towing fee. I cannot verify if what they said about MTPB is true, but that's what they said. This one already took a ticket to his license, so he is able to just drive away without being impounded. But there's no driver for this one, no plate either, so it'll go on the back of the tow truck. And another sidecar over here being cleared by the SO-ACU team. It's not just tricycles, they're also hooking up to this taxi parked on the sidewalk, considered to be illegally parked. So they have 2 tricycles and then 1 motorcycle on this tow truck. They might be able to fit 1 more tricycle at the back after they secure everything. I guess all these wheels they're dumped in the road probably came from these tricycles also. It looks around about the same size. The driver of this one was able to show a valid license and registration, so he's just being written a ticket and then he can drive away. Again, there's no plate on the back, but there should be one, and he does have an MV file number. More drivers have come out now and they are showing their licenses. I think they realized the MMDA is serious once they saw all the vehicles being loaded onto tow trucks. And although it stinks of urine, the sidewalk is actually clear now. Pedestrians can once again walk along here. Why does it stink of urine? Well, aside from people peeing on the walls and the floor, there's also bottles of urine laying around. And there's also quite a few alcohol bottles laying around the area. There are also a bunch of tricycles parked on the other side. And unfortunately, no plate, no license. So that's why it gets towed away by the towing crew. And I'm not sure if you'll be able to see on the screen, but the windscreen is actually smashed as well. You can see it better from the inside actually. And over here is a tricycle parked in the road. No plate number, no driver. So towing crew coming in now. They'll put the chassis number on the paperwork and then tow it away. Oh, this substandard helmet. They just flagged down this rider here. Substandard helmet, that's 3,000 pesos. Very expensive. Plus slippers, that's 500. And further along, these 2 tricycles are also being impounded. This one's huge. It has 3 rows of seats. MMDA Western guys just explained that they have 2 complaints about this road. It's already been legalized by the city. They're selling tickets to park here. You'll see parking attendants like this walking around. So if the driver is paid for parking, they won't get a ticket, even if it's a sidewalk. Although this one parked here in the road doesn't have a ticket from the parking attendant, so it is being issued a ticket for illegal parking by MMDA. And these motorcycles here are also being ticketed for illegal parking because they weren't able to show that they paid the parking attendant. And this is why I keep reminding people when they complain about Manila City and ask why the MMDA don't clear it. A lot of Manila City was already converted to paid parking, so they cannot issue tickets, they cannot tow them. I just saw the parking attendant write out a ticket. It should have been done as soon as the car parked, not after the MMDA arrived and asked to see the ticket. This driver was already issued a ticket for illegal parking. He wasn't able to show anything from the parking attendant. This one was also ticketed for the same reason. You can see the gentleman holding the ticket, and now they have to move the car. The driver of that van also took a ticket, and now he's leaving. And the towing crew are about to pick up this one. According to the enforcer, the parking attendant said the reason why he didn't issue tickets to them is that he didn't have his booklet with him. And then he just tried to issue it quickly once the MMDA arrived and started asking to see it. Things I've noticed is 9 out of 10 tricycles don't have any plate. So there you go, one of them has a plate, although you wouldn't be able to read that on camera. It essentially makes them exempt from non-contact apprehension because how will you write out a ticket? There's no plate. And sometimes they're the worst riders on the road. But if you turn right in the wrong place, because it's a bicycle lane, boom, 2,000 pesos. If you're in the correct lane, it's still gonna get hit with a violation because they say you're in the bike lane. So either way you get hit. Anyway, there goes that car now, towed away for illegal parking. I just can't remember if it was this road or another one where a private citizen paid 180,000 pesos for a mower, which gave him exclusive rights to parking on the road. and then he went around each business and charged them monthly, and then he put parking attendants on the road. Incredible, right? That was under a previous administration. I don't know if it's still like that. Of course, paid parking on the road equals traffic, because why will you pay to use a real parking lot if you can just pay 50 pesos to park on the road?
Kinausap namin si chairman. Sabi ko, chairman, yung inano natin sa barangay na yung in-apply, ang pagkakasabi sa amin kasi ni chairman na nai-apply na sa city hall, yung one-side parking.
Ano po tanong, sir?
Ang tanong ko po, sir, kasi 15 days from the time na na-receive kasi ng City Hall, at hindi naman po nag-respond, it is considered that it was been approved already.
May papel po kayo?
Meron po na sa
approved na.
Sabi kasi ni chairman, is considered na raw as
We cannot consider it approved until you show me an approved copy.
Okay.
Kasi, sir, ako sa totoo lang, we do not condone one-side parking. Alam niyo kung bakit? Pag pina-one-side parking niyo, nakikita niyo ba kung sino nagpa-park? Jeepney. Jeepney po. Hindi taga dito yan. Hindi taga dito yan. So pag pina-one-side parking nyo, you are giving them an authority to park because it's authorized. So mapupuno po kayo ng San Miguel Quiapo na jeep dyan. Gagawin po nilang garahe nila yan. Ngayon nga, wala pang one-side parking, puro garahe na eh.
Hindi kasi po, kasi lagi naman po namin na-implement, kaya nga po tinatawag po yan, binibigyan ng pansin, lalo na po yung jeep, yung mga jeep na yan.
Ang problema po, nandyan yung jeep, nandyan yung barangay, hindi naman napapalis.
Andiyan
diba?
Yung sa pagpapalis po, lagi po namin napapatupad yan.
Nahuhuli pa nga po namin eh.
Kasi dalawa po kasi yan, di ba? Itong barangay po namin ay yung sakop po lamang, yung bago
bago tulay, yung
bago tumulay. Tapos paglagpas ng tulay, pa na naman po. Kaya nga kahapon po, kaya ako, wala namang problema sa akin, ako yung sasakyan namin. Okay lang na po yun.
Sir, bawal talaga ang kalsada kung tatanungin niya kami. Pag i-approve nila yun, i-respeto namin. Pero hanggang ko lang approval, we will consider this to always.